Hi guys, it's me, just Machine again, and for this video that I will be dedicated to the Dragon Ball Z Vlogs on my channel, I shall be talking about episode 21 of season 2 of this great show. And the name of this episode is Bulma's Big Day. Yay for that! And yeah, in case you haven't noticed, it's another Bulma-centric episode. But this is actually pretty funny because on the last run with the with the episode, she ran into a friendly crab who she missed the opportunity to make into a crab dinner for her and friends and possible lover Vegeta. But we see a return of this little crustacean and all of its motherly instinct. So anyway, let me just get this out of the way first, right? We see Goku training on the ship there, on this capsule ship, and we see him charging up with doing a key blast of an unknown name like this, and then he fires it off, and it goes round and round and round. And then in the meantime, he also charges a Kaioken attack, and then he launches another key blast, but in the opposite direction. So the idea was to make them collide into each other in midair and then blow them up that way. But it turns out that they hit him from the opposite side. So one right here, one in the back. So it's pretty amazing that he's able to withstand that even at 100 times gravity. So it's like a progress thing. And then it's the part where Gohan and Krillin are still on the way to Elder Guru's house, and Gohan bitches that they've been fighting for days now. And they've actually only been fighting for a couple hours at this point in real time. So I don't get what he was saying that, but Krillin was saying that if they go in full power, they can reach like an hour or so. So they quick it up. You know, Vegeta is over there reading the power levels. But I don't know where his sensitivity degree is on that. But he managed to pick them up, and he goes in the direction of them. Now, I thought that the two boys were going to do like keeping the power low so that Vegeta couldn't track them. And number two, he ends up taking one of the Dragon Balls with him, the one Soul Ball, so that he wouldn't so that if Frieza finds the others, if one of the Ginyu Force finds the other ones, then he's just going to he can't find them all and make his wish and whatnot. So he takes the one Soul Ball with him. Again, the one Soul Ball can't even be creative on that. So he follows them with the ball in hand. And he also cut to the Ginyu Forest where they are going to they go for a meteor shower, a meteor field, and they end up going straight through with no detours or nothing. So they break every rock that they come across. So this is supposed to represent that they are hardcore, that they just focus on the mission, and that's it. There's no sidetracks, no detours, no nothing. They just go right straight through, which is important for Frieza's elite team to do so. But the reason why I said all that before I get into the episode proper, is because that's it. There's nothing else. Everything else is about Bulma. And let me just say that I like both Bulma in these episodes because yeah, she's annoying, but she got like a very keen sense of getting herself out of danger, or trying to anyway. And she has a very distinctive accent. Not quite Valley Girl, but still a little bit annoying in that regard, if you find that annoying. And it's all thanks to her voice actress. For the Funimation dub, it was Tiffany Bulma. And I'm sorry if I got that wrong, but that's the way I think it's pronounced. Anyway, she does an excellent job with this role because she's very energetic, she's very hyper where she needs to be, and she's very demanding and annoying at the same time. So very good for that. So anyway, the two guys that found Bulma in the last episode and who one that shot her, take her into custody and are flying her to Lord Frieza's spaceship. And then all of a sudden, Bulma's like, oh man, I'm gonna die here. I'm gonna die with this general with these two enforcers the dogs taking me away. So then she has all these flashbacks to the Goku and the gang, when they were younger in Dragon Ball. Now, this is probably the first time I've ever seen this episode in this section in particular. So, being that I just saw Dragon Ball a couple years ago, at least, I will have no context to this when I was a little kid, because I had no idea what Dragon Ball even was. I thought it started with Z, so that's how much I knew back then. So, yeah, this is all about the alien, inspired, droid, the Red Ribbon droid, the Goku transforming into the Zero form for the first time as a little kid. Yamcha and saving the others from Goku's rampage, and the Emperor Pilaf gang, all those other bad guys, good moments in the original Dragon Ball show. I wouldn't even know about. But then Bulma has a dream about, a vision about what Frieza will do to her with those two guys. And it's also kind of weird because Bulma never actually saw what Frieza looked like. So she just taking a wild guess as to what Frieza in his most powered down form looks like. So for all she knows, Frieza could be a blob monster, she could be a fast snow-like monster, she could be, he could be some other kind of monster. He could be a regular person, a regular humanoid, which I don't know why they only portrayed the Frieza soldiers as humanoid, biology as base. Must be really, really diverse and have all aliens that be like two arms, two legs, but bilateral symmetry and all that. It must be kind of awkward. Squids would be more accurate, because blue monsters read more accurate. Blood monsters or energy monsters read more accurate. So there's that. But I guess being that this came from Kurama, a human ethic, we have more human-centric identities for aliens. So in any case, she shouldn't have any contact with what Freeze looks like. Cold scheme her by his biology, wherever he. So anyway, they drop her in a crater because she's too annoying. She bites the alligator guard there, whatever his name is, and he drops her into a lake. Then he swoops and gets her before that happens. I would let her drop because she doesn't have any information that they can use. So they drop her in a crater, and then they try to interrogate her. And she uses a big mouth to introduce something useful for a change. And say, the drug balls, if you gather them all together, you can make a wish. But back then they thought that those huge balls were only used to make one wish. Meanwhile, they were used to make 3. So anyway, she took to the guys and she said, if it wasn't true, then why would everybody and the mother be looking for them to get them all together? So it kind of dawned on the guys to hunt down the balls for themselves and maybe make a wish and then give the balls to Freeze it, after it's proven successful, when they think they can become more powerful than the good Lord himself. Which in the grand scheme of things doesn't amount to much because Freeze is like a net compared to everybody else, but more on that later. So anyway, they have she leads them on to other places, like where the balls would be underwater. The very same underwater gets a drainage area from the last episode with that big giant clam shell. And so they end up going underwater and they drag with them, very smart, and they end up going into the big suck area and they go down, and then she leads them into a little cave area, and then she shows them where there's a whole pile of balls, which she calls drug balls, even though they don't got any stars in them. So the 2 guys are over there going nuts for these balls and then trying to pick them up, but they can't quite. They don't have enough muscle power to actually pick them up. And she grabs the real ball and goes away. When they're grabbing the ball, they find out that the balls are actually eggs of little baby crabs that are gonna hatch, and they do hatch. And meanwhile, Mama, who's very angry at this point, Mama is very angry from Jurassic Park, that she wakes up from her slumber, unburies herself, and starts attacking the two guards, a gentleman, and with red eyes and everything. Now, remember how in the last video describing the episode, talked about how the crab was doing like bubble beam, crab hammer, and other Pokemon attacks. Well, that was a joke. That was meant to be a joke. You know, I do that kind of stuff. But it's funny. I had to do it again. When the baby crabs hatch out of the little eggs, they sound like this. Sound like a Pokeball. And it's funny because my mother told me that when I hatched, she heard the same sound. So anyway, these little things end up hatching, and the mama gets angry and starts attacking the two guys. Which is weird because, first of all, how did the crab bury herself in the sand so quickly? Number two, she gets around fast because she's able to reproduce that quickly after less than like an hour or two since Bulma first saw her, and that doesn't make much sense. Number three, how did that big ass crab monster get under a cave and into a cave that small? I mean, the cave is big enough for a few people to get through at once. Meanwhile, this crab is like a monster. It's about the size of a house. So, you know, that's not explained too well. Anyway, it's very funny that, Bulma ends up leaving the two guys behind. Oh yeah, during one of those flashbacks, she shows herself giving the finger to somebody. So I imagine that she gives fingers to two gentlemen escorted down the depths below. And it's very funny because, you know, sometimes the like chibi animation and quick animation, well, they also apply that to the submersible escape pod too. Kind of funny. So anyway, they show the two guys trying to shoot that thing with their little arm cannons, and it's no avail because the thing monster is pissed off. I mean, really pissed off. Woke her up, tried to serve her babies, and she ain't too happy. She will eat the two guys. So anyway, Bulma tried to escape. She do like that thing where they have everybody just closing shut, and then it slams closed, leaving poor guys behind. Now, I don't think they deserve that, but whatever. So anyway, she ends up going back out with the Dragon Ball hand, like ha ha, I did it. And she ends up escaping with the ball, using her jet booster on the escape pod, which actually looks like the pod's take and dump, I should say. So anyway, the two guys are left for dead, pretty much, with the giant monster. And yeah, those arm cannons are really stupid because you can't even make yourself a crab dinner with that. Can you kill a mama crab as big as she is? I'm sure those arm cannons will work for something. Unless it don't work at all, because they'd be dead meat. So anyway, she crawls out of the lake or whatever, the ocean, and the two guys end up pulling outside, and they're pissed off, but we think that they're there for her, and we think they're trying to get the revenge of the barely surviving being crushed and being locked in a room with a monster. So anyway, then the evil guys are crushed by the pincers of the crab monster, and it's funny because it's red, just like perhaps another claw. And I guess that the crab must have been the wife of Mr. Krabs from the SpongeBob cartoons and movies. So anyway, crab claw monsters grabbing the two guys and then drag them back down in the water, which I would imagine is probably a really scary prospect. But then again, how did the monster crab get the little hole that they used to get down to the secondary water cavern? That thing won't fit through there. And to be dragged down from underwater from up in the air is kind of really scary, actually, to think about. I've seen many movies where the creature has done that, and it's never good for them. Like when alligators drag their prey underwater in their own domain. When they get dragged underwater, that's scary stuff right there. So anyway, Bulma is over there shaking and she's like, I hope the two guys come back soon. And the Jaguar actually rolls down to the water again, and that's not a good thing. Yeah, I doubt it. She's ever gonna get that lucky twice in one day. And she ends up hugging the ball and making sure that it don't go nowhere. And then they cut to the Union Force coming through in space. And then it's always pleasant to know that you're gonna be up to a certain doom eventually. So I like this episode. I can't wait to hear when they had the new theme song for Bulma. The la 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 la. That like airheaded type sounding track music for it. And I didn't. When you hear that's gonna be a Bulma episode, you really think I have that much fun. Oh, it's a fan of hers. But I enjoyed it. There was no callback to other episodes that it was kind of funny. It was even more adorable knowing that the Jaguar, the OG Jaguar parts are in there, like the finger, like the alien Red Ribbon Army robot, and the other stuff too, like the transformation, I'm taking over his fear of women to save Bulma, and I think Ulan too. Some other stuff like Pilaf, Maya and Chew. That was really nice. I don't understand why they had Bulma imagining Frieza giving her the torture of being spreading cordage like a medieval horse type pirate. And that was kind of stupid that she got it right to what Frieza icon looked like. And I liked the Pokeball reference. Playing the basketball has some initial of her mother, Maria. And I just love this episode. You know, a little too much, but still. It was funny that in the last episode, she was afraid to go in the water. Now she likes water because it suits her butt. It's a bit of pretty fun. So I thank you for watching my video about the 21st episode of the second season of Dragon Ball Z, named Bulma's Big Day. Because it was Bulma's Big Day that she used the crab to murder the two guys, which is pretty much reverse of what should have been, that the guy should end up with a nice crab dinner, but they got killed by the crab. And let's see here, well, they're getting pushed to the Vegeta, so the threat goes kicks butt. That wasn't from the gravity now, and we pretty much set for life whenever we go to an anime. They prepared. And by the way, Kaioken still looks awesome. And I give this episode my happy face silver pool because it's awesome. There wasn't that much fighting involved, but it was still awesome. Especially because Bulma was able to trick those two guys into doing what she said and leaving them in danger. And Dr. Zoidberg would be very proud indeed. I definitely enjoyed this episode a lot. So, if you like, and with that, if you like what you see here and you want to see more of my videos, like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. You can also contact me for future information on my videos by calling me or texting me at 631-707-3707. Or you can always follow me on Twitter or X at PNelsonPro. And you can also you can also get me on my my email at jjsviewingchannel@gmail.com. So S02 like Dragon Ball Z, and like that Frieza called Vegeta point ahead, and I like the way Vegeta refers to Krillin as the bald guy, which is much the same way that he treats Nappa as the bald guy of the duo. So yeah, I would like to salute you in the name of the Akira, the Goku, and the Holy Kamehameha. Amen. Peace out, my brothers and sisters. I'll see you in the next video, all you girls and guys in Interland. Sayonara, Venus, and ciao ciao.